Right, hey guys, Jack from Peach Guitars here at NAMM 2019. We just stepped into the Orange booth with John from Orange Amplifiers. We're going to check out a couple of new models from them, starting with the Pedal Baby 100.
Yeah.
You want to tell me a little bit more about it?
Sure. This was kind of a solution product for us. There's a lot of guitar players out there right now that are using foundation overdrive pedals, modelers, helix, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then kind of plug it in to either whatever's there, or they have maybe the pedal board amps and stuff like that. Problem was for us that most of those were Class D, didn't quite respond like a true guitar amp, feel like a guitar amp. So we did ours with a Class A front end and a Class AB output section that really gives you the kind of the harmonics, the touch, and the compression you're wanting to feel in a guitar amp.
Yeah, that's really nice to split the difference, because like you said, some of those where you're virtually playing like through a PA speaker, it doesn't necessarily give you quite the feel you want. And it's the feel that's the hardest thing to define, isn't it?
Absolutely. There's so many different ways you can run. You know, a lot of them have XLR outs that you can feed to the front of the house, and then you can take the other set of outputs, feed them to this guy, and actually get your feedback and sustain. You know what I mean? Backup amps, wet dry rigs. You know, for what the thing costs, it's like, you know, it's almost a no-brainer in my opinion.
Yeah, and what's nice as well, when you've got such a kind of clean, neutral amp tone, your pedals are doing all the work, and also your choice of speaker makes a big difference as well, doesn't it? And what we're just running this, is that the vertical 212?
Yeah, it's the vertical 212
with the greenbacks.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. All right. So we've got a couple of pedals on the floor here as well at the moment, just to kind of exemplify that is what it's for.
Yeah. So I've got an H9 on with just a little bit of delay, just to, you know, so it's not so dry in here. And then I have a foundation pedal that's a basically like a 1964 Vox that the guy that did our teleport designed. So it's real cool sound here. It's dynamic, it's touch sensitive, it feels like a guitar amp.
And it helps you get the most out of your pedals as well, because you can't usually get amps, you know, your amps can't be clean enough when you just want to hear the pedals.
Exactly, and it's got so much headroom, like it's hard to break the input of it up, so you can, you know, these pedals to me always sound better when you can jack that output up just a little bit, kind of hit the front end hard, and then it responds perfectly to that.
Well, Orange are renowned for kind of having quite conservative power figures, I'd say. You know, the volume to power ratio is always way off, I would say.
Yeah, so. we're on 3 right now, and it's, you know, it's pretty.
And we're just dealing with a standard volume, treble, and bass, is that?
Yeah, so the treble and bass are actually more like a presence and a resonance. Okay. Really designed to kind of tailor it to the room, not drastically, you know.
More like a low and high cut then, almost.
Exactly.
And an effects loop on the back as well?
No effects loop on this, really, because it's not generating any saturation on its own, so you don't really need one with this. All the delays and everything that you know, generally are going to put them after your overdrives, and this is so clean, it's just going to do what it's supposed to do and reproduce them exactly how you want them to sound.
So we've got another amplifier to look at as well. Let's just switch over to that now. Alright guys, we've just switched over to another new amp from Orange this year. We've got the TremLord 30. So do you want to talk me through the specs of this one, John?
Yeah, this one's really cool. If Orange had made amps like in the 50s and 60s, when that kind of the only effects available were tremolo and reverb, and they were built into the amp, that's what this is. Unlike most of those amps from that period, though, this has got the classic British output section, the 4 EL84s, kind of giving you that sparkle and chime. And then the tremolo actually has 2 speed controls that you can switch back and forth between, so it kind of almost gives you that Leslie thing where you're flipping between the 2 speeds for different chord shapes. It's really cool. And then the amp by itself has just this beautiful, sweet, kind of buttery, clean sound that we've never done before. So
right. it's like being at the beach.
Yeah.
And can you vary the ratio of the two speeds as you switch between them, or is it kind of a preset?
No, there's individual controls for each one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You can have them both really fast, both really slow.
Yeah.
Dial them into your like quarter notes, 8 notes, whatever you kind of want to do, and switch between them. The depth is set as well. Say set. It's got a knob, but it's just one setting on there.
Okay, I really like that. I think that's a nice little functionality tweak to have, because tremolo sometimes can, you either want to use it or you don't.
Exactly.
But that gives you another little kind of dynamic to
a little bit more musicality involved in there. You can kind of switch it up. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, nice. And is spring reverb in there?
Absolutely.
Proper spring?
All tube spring reverb. Yep.
Just single channel?
Single channel, volume, bass, and treble. Real simple.
So it's nice. Orange is getting back to its roots this year.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We've been doing the high gain stuff so well for so long, and when this came up, we were like, wow, is this gonna, it's gonna be a bit out of left field for people, but man, it turned out so good. We're super excited about it. We think people are really gonna dig it.
I think it sounds great, and I think the kind of the client base that we've got at Peach is definitely going to veer more towards this kind of thing,
Awesome.
these kind of offerings from Orange. So, hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you want any more info on any of the products you've just seen, you can check it out at peachguitars.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.